Hello, welcome to Gran Canaria for the third round of the 2013 FIA European Rally Championship. It's the ERC, of course. The rally is Islas, Canarias, El Corte, Inglés. Yes, featuring star F1 driver Robert Kubica from Poland. Or from the Ice Age, that threw up this lot, to the ice and snow of Austria and Latvia, and indeed the FIA European Rally Championship now heading to sunnier weather, thank goodness. I'm sorry to talk about the topography in such ancient terms. Yes, high-speed asphalt action on the Canary Islands. A grippy surface, heavy on the tyres nonetheless. Quite abrasive, so a difficult tyre choice, especially if the weather does change, and well, it did. Gran Canaria, located 100 kilometres off the coast of Morocco, and is the third largest of the 7 Canary Islands. It's our home. Well, the first 2 stages were hit by rain and fog, but didn't hamper Robert Kubica. Tricky conditions, the former F1 driver setting the pace after fitting his Citroën with 4 soft compound Michelin slicks. Great start for Kubica, driving for the first time in the Islas Canarias Grand Stages, and went on to win all of the stages on day 1, which must have upset Jan Kopecky, 2 times an Islas Canarias winner. But Kopecky already 1 minute and 6 seconds behind in second place by the day's end. Irish ace Craig Bryan took the wrong tyres for the wet conditions as the first stage got underway. Was delayed even more with a setup change and a detrimental effect to his handling on his Peugeot. Also forgot his specs, which didn't help. French driver Jeremy Ancien had no experience whatsoever of the Peugeot 207 in wet conditions, but still Ancien was able to snatch 4th place overall at the end of day 1, proving that yes, you can be a newbie and do well. Nobody doing quite as well as Robert Kubica. Unbelievable performance. So many firsts. First time in the car, first time with Baran, first time rallying here. Amazing. So that's how they stood after leg 1. How would it be for leg 2? Dry conditions for the second leg of Islas Canarias. Yes, and the pleasant conditions in the morning of the service park. Maybe a walk in the park for Robert Kubica, who knows? 6 stages left, top 10 from leg 1 reversed for the starting order of leg 2. That's what we're dealing with. And the Czech Skoda driver Anton Kluzak opening the road. Kubica 10th on the road then. So Jeremy Ancien in the Peugeot 207 S2000, hard compound for all drivers. No messing around today. 7th on the road. Ancien punctured though, 6 kilometres into the stage, and completed the stage on the rim. Did well. Remains 4th, 27.4 seconds ahead of Monzon. Craig Bryan 8th on the road. Well, he and Paul Nagel have been doing some amazing things, letting that car absolutely sing, spectacles or not. 3rd quickest time, 7.6 seconds slower than the fastest time, and indeed 3rd overall, and looking very, very good indeed. So what about Jan Kopecky? Not expected of him coming into this one. 9th on the road. No stage win on leg 1. That must have come as something of a shock. So, staying regular for him, which means very close to the limit for most. Absolutely superb. A 4:28.8, and it must have been a sort of a, go on then, beat that from Jan Kopecky. Unfortunately for him, Robert Kubica was up next, 10th on the road, starting with an advantage of 1 minute and 5 seconds over Kopecky, taking no risks, he said, but just look at the way this car ploughed through. Perfect conditions, some fabulous pictures delivered today as well. Time 4:25.9, 1.1 seconds slower than Kopecky. The fastest for the first time then. Stage 10, San Bartolomé de Tirajana, 21.36 kilometres, and just after 11 in the morning, and the t-shirts were out. Some white arms too. Well, the longest stage of the day. Ancien, Bryan, Kopecky and Kubica with their intermediate times. Yes, and going for it. Luis Monzon. First outing in the Mini RRC, 4th overall at the start of the stage. His split 7.045. Well, the split's telling a story, and some negative splits going on here where drivers just get faster in the second half of indeed the stage. Jeremy Ancien, well, he lost time with the puncture on the previous stage, 1 minute and 18 seconds behind his teammate Brian at the start of this one. Brian 3rd overall, 4th, or Ancien 4th I should say. And the split, 7.07, losing 3 seconds on Monzon. So, Craig Breen then, heading for his split here. Trying to hold 3rd place, was 2nd in Latvia, don't forget.
5 left plus, tightens. In 2 right, tightens the 4 minus sharp, don't cut.
Breen and Nagel, it sounds right, doesn't it? 7.06.5. 2 seconds behind Monzon at that point then. Well, Kubecki and Dressler, also a very slick pairing. Took time back from Kubica on the opening stage of the day, but still far behind, of course, after Kubica just totally dominated day one. Don't forget, Victoria's here on 2 occasions. His split, 7.02.8, 1.7 faster than Monzon. So Kubica then, controlling his pace and just riding that advantage, but would that sort of stepping back off the pace hamper him? Sometimes you've got one rhythm and it's the way you drive, simple as that, and with his case, very quickly. Some setup changes then on the Citroën for the dry second leg. He split 7.01.7, 1.1 seconds faster than Kubecki at that point. So those are the standings at the intermediate. Kubica fastest with Kubecki trailing by 1.1, Monzon 2.8 down. Back with Monzon then for the final part of the stage, which is a long one. Better feeling with the Mini, he said. Goodness gracious, thank goodness for that. Fabulous on board and the bright sunshine in this part of the world. I know, making some of you jealous. Yes, really highlighting the pictures here. Finished 12.53 for Monzon. Ancien, another puncture, slow pace, caught by Breen, as you can hear, and Paul Nagel getting very impatient. Started 2 minutes behind Ancien. Moving aside immediately, just pushed a little bit. It ain't rubbing, it ain't racing, I guess, but you're supposed to be racing the clock in this game. Ancien and Breen, both members of the Peugeot Rally Academy. Let's not forget, Breen lost a little bit of time behind Ancien and finished in the 13.03 flat, losing 10 seconds on Monzon. Ancien losing more than 2 minutes with his puncture and will retire in that road section after the stage. Kubecki then, a little bit behind Kubica on the split, finishing 12.39, beating Monzon by 14 seconds. And what about Robert Kubica? Well, fastest out the split, 1.1 behind his good friend Kubecki. Downhill section, into the dark, and braking just a little bit too late, I've got to tell you. Check out the result. Fan cam caught it for us. Ouch. Left-hand side of the car, lucky not to go into that ravine. Broken suspension and left rear of the car and retirement. What a shame.
It was not massive attack. I mean, we were not pushing really hard. I mean, I just misjudged, I think, how deep downhill it was, and unfortunately, it's not the excuse, but when we are in the high speed, I was lacking rear grip, and especially when you are downhill. But I should take in count this, and unfortunately, I didn't. I missed, like, I should brake earlier.
So cool in his analysis. Amazing. He's going to be a major part of this ERC season, that's for sure. So, stage 10, Kubecki, Monzon, Breen, Ancien. Kubica out. Let's go back to the final part of the stage in order to compare Kubecki with Monzon, thanks to our exclusive simulcam. I know you like this. Kubecki ahead, but Monzon coming back under braking for the left-hander near the flying finish. Fabulous viewing, isn't it? Stage 11, Valesco, 16.12 kilometres, just around quarter to midday. Barbecue's just starting to be lit. 3 stages from a possible third win in Gran Canaria, and leading by a minute 22 seconds ahead of Breen in the overall. That's the time, 10:01.6, but not the fastest on the stage. Luis Monzon, exact same time as he did last year, can you believe it? So with a little bit of control, he might just get himself on the podium. Third overall after Kubica's retirement. Andres Anja, the Austrian in the Subaru Impreza R4, struggling with his brakes on the last stage of this loop. Yeah, it's a heavy car, the R4. 8th fastest time overall. Strong lead in the Production Cup, though. Kopecky then, and Dressler bossing things with Breen and Nagel in close attendance. Monzon and Denis keeping it sensible. So after the first loop of 3 stages, cruise back to Gran Canaria for a regroup and a 30-minute service. Weather much better than yesterday. Time for a bit of chit-chat before the service. Jan Kopecky, the new leader of the rally after Kubica's crash. Time to catch up.
I would like to beat him at least on one stage. And finally we did it in the first stage, and second stage he drove out. I don't know what happened, if he had a puncture or a slow puncture, or just he made a mistake. But it's a pity for everyone. But for us, it gives us more chances to win this run.
You got to finish. We'll be back in a minute for the second loop of 3 stages. Stay with us.